Well, it's Wednesday, May 26th, 2021, and welcome back to today's YouTube video. I have a very exciting piece of content today. So actually right now we are down at the Southern Oregon Speedway, my local dirt track located here in White City, Oregon. And a couple months ago at the beginning of 2021, I came out here to the racetrack and there was nothing out here. Because of what happened at the end of 2019 and 2020, the pandemic, it really heavily affected dirt track racing in Southern Oregon here at the Southern Oregon Speedway. There was no races all last season, and I made a video called Abandon the Southern Oregon Speedway, and I pretty much just walked around the facility and just showed you guys the place, the grandstands, the racetrack, and what it all looked like. So this is the old sign that you guys saw in that video. If you walk over across the street, you can see we have the new Southern Oregon Speedway sign, and I am out here today because this is actually the first time that race cars are gonna be back on the track. After I made that video and after a lot of social media posts, Facebook, Twitter, a bunch of people gathered around and came up with a game plan on how to get this place back up and running. And now I believe there's kind of a split between multiple people that are gonna be managing the racetrack, and they put a full schedule out, and actually opening day is this Saturday. So race cars are gonna be back racing on Saturday. They have a test and tune tonight, so we're gonna head on inside, see all the updates that they've done. They've added an outside wall, they've brought in some new material, and a lot of other exciting things. So race cars just got on the track, and we're gonna head inside and check it out. Well, we just got out of the car here in the parking lot, and as I walk across the way, I already noticed my first thing that they cleared up. There used to be a ton of brush and all these dirt piles here in the back where the sprint cars used to pit. And as you look through this fence, they cleaned it all up and must have removed it to another location. I can already see some other improvements, and also throughout the video, ignore the gunshots in the background. The firing range is right next to us. So I'm so excited to take a little bit of a closer look at the facility, and I'm noticing there's quite a few trailers and cars already here. So we just walked in, got our pit pass, so we were able to walk around. It doesn't seem like anybody's on the track right now. They're possibly packing or doing a little bit of track prep before actually the test and tune starts. So I'm gonna take that time to walk over to the Outlaw Kart track before I go and check out the big track, because this is really where my love for dirt track racing got started. I ran out here at the age of 6 years old in my first ever kart and picked up my first ever win here, and just got so many laps on Friday nights throughout the summers from 6 to 13 years old, from the beginner box class to the 250 and 500 division. And I really just love this place, and I'm pumped that the new owners are putting in effort for younger kids to get started, because that is kind of what feeds the whole cycle from outlaw karts in the younger divisions all the way up through, the 4 cylinders, modifieds, and into sprint cars. Well, here's a look at the little Southern Oregon Speedway from the center of turns 3 and 4. I always thought the layout of this racetrack was neat because you can watch from right on the fence. You can't really go down to turns 1 and 2 because some of the trees and the brush, but all the weeds and everything that was on the track when we were here in February is gone. And the first race for these guys is actually gonna be on Friday. So the opening night for karts is Friday. The opening night for the big track is Saturday. And I think they also recently weed whacked and mowed the whole pit area. We used to park about right in here. And I can confirm, even back in those days, we were one of the first people in the pit area to get our spot. Well, what do you think?
I think we should race it.
I kind of want to get the kart ready because I want to support this place, and they're, bringing back the karts. These grandstands right here are both new. And another addition is this is usually brush right here that they would just try to keep, cut low, but they added some flowers. They also added some more material on the ground. Well, here is a little bit of a better look at the little track. We're in the center of the front straightaway. The banking and the size of the track looks about the same as I remember, and it's probably gonna race very similar. Just kind of from the bottom up to the middle. It's never gonna get around the fence. And Carly said it a minute ago, but I think she's right. We need to get the karts ready and come out in about 48 hours from the time we're shooting this. What do you think, Carly?
Tanner, I say we do it.
I think it's a go. So
I mean, we haven't been out here in like a year and a half, I would say, but
it's been at least a year and a half. So that's now gonna be a pretty big consideration. We're gonna continue walking around. They just did all the PA stuff. That's one thing to note. They've definitely added a new sound system. I was all the way over here at the little track and I could hear everything they're saying in the pit area, but we're gonna walk around a little bit. Cars are getting ready to hit the racetrack, and we're gonna continue to check out the facility. hit the track for wheel pack. I really want to try to get an up-close look and be able to walk around a couple of the corners. But the first thing you're gonna notice, and I saw this in all the pictures that this place posted on Facebook, but the Southern Oregon Speedway now has an outside wall. Walking right down here to the fence and looking right into turns 1 and 2 as cars kind of just idle around the speedway, you can also notice how much banking it has. And the only way I'll be able to show you that is walking up to it. But the turn 1 wall starts right before the center part of the corner. 3 and 4 has a wall all the way around it. And it's just the different configuration that this place now has. It's almost a little bit of a paperclip, I think, but really wide. And it's about the same width as I think the previous Southern Oregon Speedway we saw a couple of years ago, but now it actually uses the whole racetrack. It banks up all the way to the fence. Well, it looks like they're doing some work from one of my favorite spots to watch the races. We're on top of the announcing and scoring tower, but I still have a look at the racetrack. They're playing music right in my ear, but here's just a quick shot, almost an aerial view of the track. Well, it looks like they're starting to kick everyone off, and I think they're gonna leave the sprint cars on to do a couple of laps to burn off any grease. So this will be our first opportunity to see how a limited sprint rolls around this place. Interesting to see a couple of limited sprints get around here for the first time since this track was changed. Obviously the conditions right now aren't necessarily ideal. It's almost slimy in some spots, really slick and marbly in others, but I'm sure throughout the season they're going to figure out this material, you know, how much water it needs and how it's going to play a factor with the sun and wind. And they have a lot of smart people kind of working this place now, so I'm sure they're going to get it figured out. We're going to watch a couple of more laps and now kind of walk through the pit area. Another change they've made out here is how you exit the racetrack and get back to your pit stall. So you come off of turn 1, that's the same, but now you kind of take a left in front of the whole pit area and along the back straightaway. I feel it's much safer. You kind of go down this little row, then you hang a right into the pit area versus kind of a huge loop is what it used to be. So this is a look at their new staging area behind me. This is much nicer than what they previously had. All the cars are gonna stage down here and all the cars exit the track from the same way. See, I think their previous configuration, half the cars, like these classes went on here, the sprint cars went on down here. It was just a little bit of a cluster, so now they have it much more organized, and you can see even just a couple cars staging to go out there and turn some laps. Well, that is gonna end today's video. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today as I show you around the new Southern Oregon Speedway. They got a new logo. They're trying to rebrand this place and bring back dirt track racing to a good state in the southern part of Oregon. So hats off to all the new people that are running this operation. You can definitely tell all the effort that they've put in a short amount of time, because in February, this place was vacant and now it's the end of May and they're getting ready to have their opening night. And I know that's difficult in a short amount of time with funding and scheduling because all these other racetracks are already doing what they're doing. So like I said, a hats off to the Southern Oregon Speedway. So many things also were missed in this video because they upgraded many different parts of the facility. For example, the pit pass booth, the ticket booth, the new grandstands in the pit area so you can actually see the races from the pit area. A lot of times when we'd come here in the past, we always went to the main grandstands because in the pits, there's just a little wooden broken down pit stand and you couldn't see much. So just a lot of upgrades have been made and I'm so thankful, and it puts a smile on my face to see you know, the Southern Oregon Speedway back up and running, because I used to come here as a kid at the little track and the big track to watch so many people that I idolized. Anyway, I'll see you guys all in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Deuces.